Now, to use create in ProxyProvider, we need to change the translations a bit because we are going to use both create and update. In update, we'll use it in the form where we change the value of existing instance without creating a new instance. So what I'm going to do is delete the constructor from the existing translations and delete the final of the underscore value variable. Next, I will create the void type update function that receives an integer type new value as an argument and assign the value of new value to the underscore value. The underscore value is marked with a red scale line, but declare the underscore value as late because the value will be given in the update. Wrap the column widget with the translations type ProxyProvider 0 and create a translations instance in the create callback. Since we will not use build context, the first argument of update, mark it with an underscore, and the second argument is a nullable type translations instance. In the update callback, call the update function of the translations instance, but since it is a nullable type, you must use the bang operator. And as an argument of the update function, give a changing counter value. Then return the translations instance. The show translations widget reads and displays the getter of translations, this time using context.watch instead of provider.of. Let's run it after a hard restart. Go to the ProxyProvider Create Update page and click the button. It works as expected. This time I will do the same thing, but I will use Create and Update and change the translations. It isn't really necessary to do this. Now let's use multiple ProxyProvider to achieve the same effect. Let's go to the proxyprov.dart file. The yproxyprov.dart file has currently been moved as it is. This time we are going to use two ProxyProviders. One is to return the changing integer value, and the other is to receive the changing integer value and create a new object. Now wrap the column widget with the multi-provider and create an integer type ProxyProvider 0 as the first provider. Since the ProxyProvider has no data to manage, it does not need create. Since there is no need to use the build context and previous value, in the update of ProxyProvider 0, give underscore and double underscore respectively, and return counter. The second one is to use a ProxyProvider to create a translations that depends on an integer type counter. Since we don't need build context, give it an underscore and set the value of the dependent integer as the value. Since we are creating a new translations, you don't need the previous value, so I'll give this a double underscore. I copied the show translations directly from the ProxyProv create update. Let's run it again after a hard restart. Again, it works as expected. If you look closely, the second ProxyProvider always creates a new value to achieve the desired result. Now, this is the preferred method mentioned in the manual as preferred. And I can tell you that we are getting closer to that method little by little. Next, we will see how to use change notifier provider and change notifier ProxyProvider to achieve the same goal.